All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Two Dudes podcast. I'm Rick, that's Kevin. We're those two dudes, and we got a lot of news, information, and laughs for you today. Um, this episode, episode 73, this is going to be filled with a lot of head scratchers. Follow us if you dare, because we got some interesting, albeit off the wall stuff for y'all. Kev, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good. I had a memory lapse. I went to the grocery store, got groceries, came back, went to the deck book in my backyard, zoned out. If you hadn't sent that text, I completely forgot. I don't know if it was that heat hit me that hard as soon as I stepped outside, but I completely fucking forgot.
Yeah, because we sitting at 101 right now. So if you
Let me
sitting
see. Y'all
outside,
had
you're a
one.
brave man.
I wasn't sitting. I was just standing on the deck, just looking. Cause I had sprayed some weed and some weed killer and shit like that. And that shit done turned into grass killer. And the nigga in me is like, man, fuck cutting this grass. I'm about to kill all this shit. And so I was just looking to see what had been done. And see, we're 92, but it feels like 104. We're in a excessive heat warning until Thursday.
Damn.
So I don't know when I'm gonna get to cut my yard.
Yeah, just
That's
light
all.
that shit up. Burn it down.
Yeah,
All right,
might
so
as well. Treat it like Hollywood.
it's safe to say right now that the world is fucked. And I'm gonna start with this first topic, which is the most recent one that you sent me mere moments ago. And I happened to be on yahoo.com and I saw it. I confirmed it. I'm like, why? Everybody who grew up in our era and before was in the comic books. Batman is a hero to many, the masculine of masculines. Batman, Superman, James Bond, they all go down as men, fighting men. And then they have their sidekicks, also men fighting men, until now. Apparently, Robin has come out as bisexual. And I just got to ask, why? It's clearly for shock value.
It's not even shock value. Everybody has to be represented nowadays. You can't not have a representation in today's world.
But why not create? Why not create another superhero and just make them bi? Instead of taking a character that we've known for years, who, by the way, has dated women in the comics, not men. And now all of a sudden he likes men too.
Why I said he's bisexual, because he's done both. We just didn't know he did both. And the thing is, you take someone that's already established, because you ain't got to go through the thing of creating a whole fan base. You already got one. And you pick someone that's in the background that they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's cool. Well, they kind of hinted at this back in the day with that last corny ass Batman and Robin when they had Batgirl. They kind of hinted like old boy was kind of sensitive. So now they just full-fledged comic book, he bisexual, which makes no sense at all.
Okay, so which is worse to you? Robin becoming bisexual or Superman being black?
Honestly, probably Superman being black.
I would agree, because you're flipping the entire character on its ear and you're just changing everything about him at that point. And I do mean everything, because think about it like this. We are still in an era of prejudice. So he's not going to be everybody, oh, there we go, Superman. Thank you so much for getting that cat out of the tree. Oh, Superman, thank you for saving the day. It's going to be like, fix that boat, nigger. Fly over there and put some water on that fire. Don't say it won't, because it will.
It's not going to be that. What's going to happen, Superman's not going to have an enemy. He's going to have somebody that's just like him that everybody else calls versus him. It's going to be equivalent of you call Pizza Hut over Domino's. That's what it's going to be like. somehow there's gonna be a black and white Superman at the same time, and they're gonna rely on the white one more than the black one. And there's gonna be some ignorant shit like that. But
But
there's
hey,
no reason.
that's closet racism. So it's still
Yeah,
racism any way you
there's
slice
no
it.
reason to make Superman black. But you know, at the same time, that's why we have the whole. If you think about back in the day, like I watched the on Netflix recently, Kevin Smith, the dude from Clerks fame and all that shit
Yeah.
or whatever, he was given the keys to the city through Netflix and redid He-Man to where he take it back to where Adam's like young Adam and it was trash. I watched 5 episodes of trash. And the thing about it was you go back to He-Man, you had He-Man, you had She-Ra. So they already at that point made sure there was a male-female counterpart of each other. Or like now in the reboot, he's telling the story through Evil Lynn or whatever, and how her and Takana, whatever the other chick's name is, how they're really the same. I'm like, we gotta stop doing that. We don't need that. Then like certain characters look different now and everything. I'm like, everything can stay the way it is, but unfortunately, thanks to all these soccer moms that didn't want to get a job, they raised their kids and needed something to fill their time because when the kid went to school, you're supposed to go to work. Heaven forbid you do that, so you got to find the cause. Now the cause is always equality. That's why I made a big deal about when Halle Berry was Catwoman. Catwoman was black to begin with, but who watches the 1940 version where Eartha Kitt? Nobody. So therefore, nobody knew. That's why pretty soon Batman gonna be black. Everything's gonna just go through a cycle where everybody can be pleased. At some point, Batman gonna be working Taco Tuesday because he gonna be Mexican. It's that probably be a lit Taco Tuesday. Think about it with Batman. Imagine the spread he could have. Him and Alfred, that probably be dope. Hey, right? You need to write that. Taco Tuesday with the man, Batman. His logo could be a taco. That was racist as fuck. That goddamn. Go to the next subject. That was racist as fuck.
Well, while we on the subject of things getting changed, you snatched away my youth twice today. And second with Robin, but first with Fantasy Island. I remember the days of Ricardo Montalban, the original and best Mr.
I
Roy.
watched Fantasy Island.
That show was dope.
That was one of my favorites.
And now this bullshit getting ready to come out.
I watched Fantasy Island and Love Boat.
Yeah, because they came on back to back.
Together.
Yeah. But now we get this other
stuff. The coldest
stuff.
brother and Isaac. It's like, the coldest brother and Isaac at the bar. And you had the baddest midget in the land on Fantasy Island. What more could you want from TV? Now you got this shit with, I don't know who the chick is, the lead actress. She's somebody, but I forget her name. And motherfuckers going to a fountain of youth pool to relive their youth for a minute. I'm like, they turn into zombies or something? Oh, what is it, the Walking Dead fountain of youth? It makes no sense.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna trash it completely yet, but it's getting there. I will probably try to check out the first episode and see what it's all about. Report back on it. However,
if ain't no midget,
if history shows,
they ain't got no midget, I can't watch.
History has not been kind to Fantasy Island, because remember, this is not the first reboot. This is actually the third reboot. Back in 1998, there was a reboot of Fantasy Island with Malcolm McDowell. It didn't even last a season. That's how bad it was. And in the early 2000s, there was a movie. No, I think it was last year. A couple of years ago, there was a movie called Fantasy Island. And it didn't work out.
Like a horror movie or something.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So this is number 3 here. Now, do you know which network that comes on? Fox. Okay. Fox doesn't have a good track record in my eyes with TV shows. I'll just put it like that. I'll check it out once. Me being the movie and TV guy, I will be glad to report back next week whether or not it's true trash or I thought it was trash. But I guarantee you, I'm probably going to be thinking it's trash.
Like I said, if there's not a midget on it, I can't watch it. You got not a midget, I just can't.
Now, I will say this. There are some good reboots that CBS has had these last few years. I am a big Hawaii Five O fan, and I like your friend SAPI Magnum PI. That's a good show as
Puerto
well.
Rican PI.
Yeah, so those shows are good, but I am sick to death of repeats, retreads. We can't get out of our own way in the entertainment industry because somebody wants to bring something back instead of bringing something new. You know, I don't know if you follow The Walking Dead. It's ending after this
No,
season,
it'll be
probably a
back.
couple seasons too late, but they are starting another Walking Dead show.
That sound
And
about right.
for those of you who like any of the NCIS shows, whether it be regular NCIS, NCIS New Orleans, or NCIS LA with LL Cool J, guess what comes out this month? NCIS Hawaii. So
Yeah,
we
'cause,
can't get out of our own way. Oh, and by the way, if that's not enough for you, CSI is coming back.
I like CSI New Orleans. Whenever I remember to watch it. Yeah. What'd you say? The
NCIS
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah, my ex-wife's on that show. Um, then what's her damn name?
If you don't know your
God,
wife's own name, you got some problems, bro.
that's why she my ex.
See, that's the
Uh,
mark of. I gotta tell the people. Listen, that's the mark of a true player right there. When he don't remember their names, player. What's your secret, player?
that just means it didn't last long. But now what's her name? I always thought she was cute. That married the singing boy. Um, she was on MTV. I forgot what her damn name is. Mexican. She cute as hell
Okay, I'll
though.
take your word for it.
Yeah, she one of the lead actors on there.
Yeah,
Unlike Gabrielle Union's show, they got her as one of the lead cops being a female, but they're not sensationalizing it to where it's a big production.
yes.
Although I still like Gabrielle Union, her show was good. It was just too big for TV. All the explosions and guns, and it was too big for TV.
It
And
should
I
have.
think they wanted Jessica Alba to be the lead more than her.
It should have been on streaming. I think it would have worked better if it was a streaming
It
show.
started on streaming. It was on Spectrum.
Yeah, but then it got moved,
Yeah,
and the
then
downfall,
Spectrum or
it
whoever
went to
owned, they
Fox.
sold it to Fox. Yeah,
And
but the
again,
thing
Fox
is,
doesn't have a good track record.
it should have never been on Fox. It should never been on Spectrum because NBC had bought into it and they thought it was too much. And but the thing, other was all said and done, you can't be black and educated. That's one of the big problems. And this is when Gabrielle Union was kicking up dust with BET because she realized she wasn't getting paid her value for the show she was doing with BET, that Mary Jane. Yeah, it was Mary Jane or whatever. And at the same time that's going on, you're starting this show. What's it called? LA. Where the fuck it was called?
LA's
So it's
finest.
like, yeah, LA's finest. Because at first it was just called Bad Boys, but then they changed LA finest. It was supposed to be a spinoff for her off the TV show.
Well, I think that's another reason why it failed. I don't think they promoted it enough as a spinoff of Bad Boys. So a lot of people didn't even know that it was a Bad Boys
Well,
spinoff.
they cut it and changed the name before they even got to that point. But you could recognize because like you saw John Sally in a couple episodes where you saw some Bad Boy S moments to where it kind of reminded us where it came from. But yeah, they basically shot themselves in the foot. And then her going through her legal situation. Don't no studio want to touch that because you're afraid that you gonna be next.
Yeah.
So she didn't help herself in the cause when it was all said and done.
And just me personally, I would have thought it would have been better if they would have called it Bad Girls instead of LA's finest. But that's just me. All
Eh,
right.
once
So,
it went to Spectrum, it was dead in the water. So
all right, here's the deal. Um, Tell us about R. Kelly, and I guess his ass is broke now, and they they're either in the process or they've just picked a jury. What's going on with Kels?
here's my problem with Kales. His lawyers are claiming he's broke. I call bullshit. he got too many royalties, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, if you ain't getting no spins, you ain't making no money. I don't know if he. I know he's still on Spotify because yes, motherfuckers, I listen to him. He comes on periodically, but he definitely get no concert money. He been in jail for a minute, so he ain't got new songs he done wrote or whatever. And it's just he doesn't have that royalty money coming in base what it boils down to. Because his stuff's not spending, not getting bought on nothing. Unfortunately they made him dead in the water. So he got a court coming up. He about to run out of money, can't pay his lawyers. They probably go smash. I think they're picking out the jury, then they might leave after that. I don't see them standing beyond that. And to try to help him, they put in a request to take a herpes charge off one of his many charges. Because I mean, in all actuality, I don't blame him because that's no more than like a gnat that is bothering you while you sitting. It's a charge that means nothing because they got all these other big charges. That's something they just threw on there just to add on. They're probably in the grand scheme of things, he'll get a day in jail for it. So it really doesn't matter.
I don't know. He's
So,
already been in there several days.
Yeah, but they'll probably call that time served for them. It's like it really holds no weight. Why keep it on there? You already go convict him to where he's gonna be a felon. Why? Why keep it on there? So it's kind of asinine. I feel bad for him because I was watching yesterday. Nick Cannon was on the Breakfast Club and they was talking about when he did Gigolo with R. Kelly. He said he literally, this is how much of a genius this man was. Literally saw him play with an instrument and harmonize the beat, and within 5 minutes he wrote a song, ended up being Gigolo, and you see how big that was. Said just sitting there, fucking around with an instrument, got the hum of the beat he heard in his head, went to another spot, boom, 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 he in the studio. Then he told Nick, this is what you need to do. Just off of fucking around. Because they was asking like all these versus battles, who could battle Mariah and R. Kelly. And he was like, R. Kelly, because R. Kelly writes. He was like, no knock on Mary or Beyonce or anything, which was shade in my opinion. He was like, but neither one of them write. Like Mariah writes all the time. A lot of them have songs handed to them when they just sing it. Oh yeah, he got a point on that. He does have a point. But I don't think Mariah's catalog is as big as R. Kelly's. I think she'll get lost in the sauce.
Whoa. No, it is.
You heard it here first.
It is.
She'll get lost in the sauce.
It is. You and I can debate this in an upcoming episode because I am thinking of gathering some folks and coming in and doing a music episode because out of all those people you mentioned, Mariah does come damn close to Kells, if not dead even with him. She got lots of hits. It's a lot of stuff that you will hear from her that you be like, oh damn, she did do that. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's when you'll see how much she's got. And I think that Mary J. Blige comes a little closer to Mariah. Beyonce is still a shark in the water. I call her a shark in the water because she's already come up, but she ain't quite on Mary J. Blige's level.
Here's the thing. Here's how I see it. And I think Nick was, Nick, that's his baby mom, his wife, how you want to put it. No, I'm not trying to say baby mom anymore. That's his ex-wife. Nick had to think of a way to speak on her to put her up higher. Because let's be honest about it. When's the last time Mariah had a hit?
But we can say that about
like
R. Kelly.
2000?
It's been about that same amount of time. When he started having legal trouble.
R. Kelly's about maybe 5-6 years away from a hit. Mariah probably early 2000s had a hit. So when R. Kelly went back to
I'd say about 2010, 2011, somewhere in there.
There's no way she ain't in 2010. I give her like 05, 06. Kells, we in 21. I give him maybe 2018, 2017. So when he went back to the old school vibe of back in the Frankie Lyman day with the album cover and stuff, he had a couple of hits out in that mix or whatever. Wasn't many. He had a couple. What Nick did was smart to give her credit, but she's not on Kells' level. I think he's unfortunate. Well, not unfortunately, he's up there with the Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. I mean, he's up there with maybe Teddy Riley, Quincy. He's up there with all of them. he's not down there with Mariah and everybody else. And I don't think Mariah can be married. Personally, I don't think Mariah can be married. And Beyonce is more on Janet's level, and I don't think she can beat Janet. But you know who the dark horse would be and all that? It was like that fatal four way with the females.
Who?
Alicia Keys. She could be the wild card. People don't realize she got some big records, and she been on the hook of a lot of big records too.
That's her saving grace, being on the hook of a lot of them. She's had what, 3 good albums and 1 okay album. I don't count
like,
that as a catalog. What'd you say?
Since she about 4 or 5 albums out, I'm not sure how many she got out, but
I thought she had 4 or 5. Yeah,
catalog. She has a catalog. She does, and her the stuff that she's been on too. That you know, that's a lot of that's because since she's been with Swiss, you know, he'll have her sing the hook on some stuff for other people that had she not been with him, she probably would have never fucked with them. But you know, that type of verse will never happen because Mary says she sees no reason to do it. And we already know if Mary ain't doing it, Mariah definitely ain't gonna do it.
Now, I guess they don't really have anything to prove at this point.
Yeah, they don't. It just is one thing. It'd be cool to see just them kicking it, playing their music and celebrate. You know, like we saw with Snoop and DMX, or we saw when Alicia and John Legend did theirs, or whatever. Or the recent one with the Locks and Dipset. Locks kicked it. People got reminded how dope Jadakiss was. I've been knowing. I got all this music. So you know, it was strictly New York, so I didn't watch the whole thing. But it wasn't bad.
I think where Mariah has fell off, she let that word diva go to her head.
Yeah.
And ever since then, her career's been fucked.
Everybody has the Ric Flair syndrome. You remember his 30 for 30?
Woo! Okay, now.
Basically, everybody has the Ric Flair syndrome to where they want to live the role of the character they play. And see, the thing with Mariah, when she was with Tommy Mottola, she was the princess in the castle. The minute she decided she didn't want that no more and they got divorced, she still wanted to be princess, but she took it into overdrive where she turned into like the diva princess without a castle. Everywhere she went, she made her castle.
Think about this. Think about what Kevin just said. If you look at Mariah Carey's first 2 albums, she was the sweet, wholesome girl in the jeans and the short crop top with the jacket. After she got divorced, that 3rd album, she had them short skirts on, or something that looked like lingerie. Yeah, so she was already on that way.
Well, I wouldn't say she was on the way. She was just typical. My little brother, for example, when he got divorced or whatever, he felt like he had to relive the 20s that he lost when he was married. And I'm like, you didn't lose them. You was married. No, we got a lot of people we know to go through that mindset of, oh, I'm married now, I'm this, I'm divorced, oh, I got to get back that time I lost. I was married in that time I was 23 to 33. I got 10 years to catch up on. You really don't. But a lot of people think like that. That's how she did it. The only thing was, she was in the fucking public. She went from schoolgirl, this is what he liked, to I'm not with you no more. I'm about to let all the boys know what's up under here. And she was the first Khalees showing that milkshake. I still didn't care for her.
Man, she was dope back in the day. Before the dark times, before she lost her mind.
And when she did that damn song with Boys to Men, you couldn't get away from it. I wanted to bust my eardrums.
I know you hated that, bro, but that song
I hated
was
One
good.
Sweet Day with such a passion. Oh, I hated that song with such a passion.
All right, so we go to someone who's extremely popular that hasn't put out anything in 10 years to somebody who's, in my mind, nowhere near that level and may even have some recent stuff out, but I don't know about it. You was talking about the baby canceled the KCK show at Sandstone.
No, he didn't cancel. He got canceled.
Okay.
So basically, Rolling Loud festival in Chicago, he made some homophobic comments that the Americans just didn't like. Ever since then, he been getting canceled from festivals. He been canceled from endorsements. Thought he was cool. He did an apology. Kind of, I was told it's kind of a messed up apology, kind of like a little backhand or whatever. And then he removed the apology off his IG page. Basically, like, fuck y'all. So now he started to get canceled from concerts. They trying to write the baby off, and I just like giving Nick Cannon props on his Breakfast Club interview. He was like, "This is a chance to teach him, educate him, versus canceling him." But every time you look up, his shit's getting canceled left and right.
Here's my thing.
He got money, he good. He can only survive for so long taking hits.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's where I'm going with this. Jay-Z says the same thing. Jay-Z does not get canceled that way. So it all depends on what level you're at. He'll take a little backlash. He will take a little backlash, but he wouldn't get hit as hard as the baby. I guarantee it.
Well, the thing is, and from what they were saying, he was at the concert, and I've done this before when I had the mic in my hand. Sometimes a mic in your hand can be a powerful, bad weapon to have because you get to feeling yourself and you forget where you at. You think you're at home with your homies playing around being a fool. You're in public. So they say, you know, the baby going typical, where is this at? Where my hoe? Where, you know, this, that, and the third? Where my pretty, you know, this, that, and the third? And basically says something that offended somebody. And then from there, it's kind of like a downward spiral. Now, Jay-Z will make a comment in a song. He won't do it while he's talking to the crowd. That's where the difference comes in. And then all happens, we'll change the words, we'll take the song out. No big whoop. The baby was doing it as he was talking to the crowd, getting the crowd hype, chanting or whatever. That's where he fucked up. So it's all about when and where you do it. Then also, you're at a festival that probably had easily 100,000 people there. That's a lot of damn ears you done said that to. You're going to offend somebody, whether you want to believe it or not.
But see, that's where I'm going with this. When I say he's not on the same level as Jay-Z, I don't mean just as far as record sales or profile. He's not on the same level up here. Jay-Z knows how the game works. Jay-Z's a businessman. That's why he would do it in a song as opposed to the general public just talking.
And I question what you just said. Jay-Z's a businessman. Okay. What exactly is a businessman?
Someone who turns over a profit. I didn't say he's a good owner. I said he's a businessman. He can turn over a profit. There's a difference. There's a difference between running a company and turning over a profit. Because he will go get something and then resell it in a heartbeat and make a profit.
That's the thing.
That's what he does.
I look at him as a turnover man versus a businessman. He reminded me when I worked at Home Depot and the one on Bannister. They're like the biggest one in KC, makes the most money as far as construction workers and shit. They're like the department I worked in alone brought in $1 million plus every year, like 1.2 mil easy. And they let the guy go who was over us, talking about because this, that, and the third, some BS reasons. Then they brought in some chick that within like 2-3 months, she had fired like 65 people, brought in new people. And they was like, when she went to Belton, she got them ironed out, straightened up, did her thing, then she moved to the next store or whatever. So it's like he's almost like his name, and he used that to where he jumps around to where ownership isn't a thing for him. It's not important to him. He want to come in, run a business, or have his people run it, get them situated, then get that check to where, say he made 30-40% more than what he paid for it. That makes him look successful. Then he goes to the next venture.
Right, and that's why I call him a businessman instead of an owner.
I can't call him a businessman because he doesn't keep anything and see it through. I call him a takeover. You know, he a fixer. Because like right now, so they said he about to reopen the 40-40 club. It should have never closed. But it wasn't a secure financial business. I guess how it was, whatever. But now, since things are so closed, everything is so exclusive now, membership, this, that, and the third, you can bring back the 40-40 and make it bigger than what it was. It's all about exclusivity. Like it's
And
a
he's going to
cigar
turn
starter.
over a profit and sell it.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I guarantee you within 2 years it'll be gone. It won't be his anymore.
Think about it like this. How many clubs have you known survive more than 5 years? And I'm not even talking about the same name, new ownership, because to me, that's still a different club.
Well, Stanford was around for a long ass time. Stanford, an American
they
pub,
might be the exceptions to the rule.
They were staples for a minute. Epicurean, staple.
Nah, the Ep went through different management.
Nah, I'll say 75th. That stayed the same. Down further on 82nd or whatever, yeah, that was constantly changing. Oh, and sadly, the owner of the Ep has passed. He just recently passed today or yesterday. So I guess New York, Kansas City legend. I don't know. I never went to the one on 75th, so I've been told this is old niggas in there with suits two-stepping. If your girl ain't ready, she better get ready.
If you more than 40, you have a red suit and still holding on to that Jerry curl, get out the club. Go do something with your life.
You telling a lot of people to go sit down.
I'm just calling it the way I see it. Come on, man.
Go sit their motherfucking ass
down. All right. Let's lighten it up real quick. I sent you Patrick Mahomes' new logo. Forget about the fact that he's a Kansas City Chief.
For a minute.
I have a love-hate relationship with that logo.
Why?
It kind of looks tight, but at the same time, it kind of looked like trash.
It looks hella simplistic.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't like. But I see where they were going with it. If they could have made it look a little bit more gladiator, that would have been tight.
But that's the thing. If you look at it, first the M makes you think of Adidas, the three stripes. Then you got the P that comes in there for him. It makes you think of something playful, not too serious. Because if you watch how he plays, it's like you in the street playing football. You in the backyard of your grandma's house playing football. It's not that Peyton Manning, still, it's not that well polished. There's a lot of things he could do better, but he's playful. He gets it done. You enjoy it. So that's what the logo looks. It's more inviting than it is anything. Do I care for it? Not for real. The shoes look alright, but they had to find something to do because you're running out of ideas,
I will give him credit for this. He didn't try to do the typical athlete thing and throw his number in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't stand that.
He kept it to where it's simple, relatable, and you can get it.
The only time a number has really looked good with the athlete's logo, back in the day, Penny Hardaway, the little 1 cent logo.
I wasn't mad when Mike Vick used his. His was cool. There's something that was cool, something that wasn't. I think more the single digit works, double digit really don't. It's just all on preference.
I'm a Raiders man. I don't really care for Derek Carr's. The little 4 is embedded inside the DC. He could have did it with just the DC alone, but
Hey, you let that almost great do what he needs to do to feel better about himself.
He's gonna get better this year. I mean, if you, I can't believe we're doing this a couple weeks too early, but how many times have I told you they're gonna get better and better every year, and they've shown signs. All I need is that defense to step up in 1 or 2 games, and we're in the playoffs. That's all I need.
We shall see.
Well, if you look at what they did with that roster on the defense, half the people that started last year will not start this year if they're even on the squad.
Understandable.
They are trying to make sure that this defense does not lose them 3 games in the last minute of each game. All we had to do is win 2 of those. We in the playoffs. I'm still hot on that. Probably hotter than the Tuck rule because it's more recent.
I got a breaking news.
What's up?
About to get serious for a second. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' office threatens to withhold salaries of school officials who require students to wear masks.
Oh, the world is fucked.
What are we doing? You was one of the states that didn't give a fuck. Don't take somebody's liberty from them if they want to, if they trying to protect themselves. What the fuck is going on? You go withhold my pay if I tell my students wear your mask because I'm worried about myself. You can't be fucking serious. Like right now, I'm actually not. I can't believe I'm saying it. Considering going to get the shot for the girls because I'm on the job search hard now. That everybody's going back to school, whatever. I ain't got to worry about all that shit because I'm trying to go back into the CRO world and going from different labs possibly. I don't want to take that chance. So being smart and cognitive, I have to for that aspect. But if I was to stay like I am now, working from home, call center type shit, man, fuck that shot. But if I'm about to be back out there and if I want to, I can try to get this CRA job. I need it because I'll be traveling to different facilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that would be crazy if I wanted to, hey, you can't wear your mask in here. Oh, well, nigga, I don't need to work today, then I'm out. Because you just don't know. But this motherfucker say you go withhold salaries, that is the fucking extreme because you don't want them to make kids wear a mask. So you want this shit to continue to spread. Possibly that's how it's spreading. I just told my friend we just need to find a cabin in the woods and move up there and hide because this shit's getting ridiculous.
The woods will become just like the suburbs. Before you know it, within 5 years' time, you're gonna have neighbors and living on top of each other at that point.
That's crazy. And what's fucking me up the most about all this, like Georgia, Texas, Florida, motherfucking like parts of California, you motherfuckers that didn't give a shit trying to call shots, but you didn't give a fuck. Y'all was wild and doing whatever, but y'all trying to call shots now. I don't get it. I don't get this world we in and this lack. Not saying lack of emergency, but just it's like the common sense factor gets lower and lower each day.
Now, see, I would understand it if it was like, hey, I'm withholding salaries if you don't have students wear masks. I could get that. I could get behind that. But because you concerned for your health and you want them to, and you want to have them do that, you torn between working for a living and just plain living. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That pretty much forces people to get the shot.
Yep.
And you know, I'm not going to get on the shady government, but that is one way these things can turn out. They can't legally make you do anything, but they can force you several different ways to do something.
That's where I feel like I'm gonna have to get it because whether I take a job in the CRO where I'm in the building, you always know at some point you end up in the lab doing something.
Yeah.
Or you'll be around people getting tested. Because a lot of them, what they doing COVID. So you're gonna have to at some point. So that's what I'm trying to do. I got no choice but to.
All right, peep this. They're not going to mention, hey, Kev, it's a requirement because, they can't do that to you. They can ask you, though, on the form, do you have it? Do you not have the shot? They don't have to say anything else about it.
Yep.
What you check on that form depends on whether or not you even get an interview or get looked at for a job without you knowing it.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Now, I feel bad for all the ones that have lost their jobs because they haven't got it done. But at the same time, you was given a deadline. You either shit or you get off the pot. Which one you go do?
Will this madness ever end?
Nope. If it does, we'll be dead and gone.
You got anything else?
Yes. Did you ever switch over to the regular Netflix? Or you still doing the DVD shit?
DVD.
Man, you about to miss out today.
Wow,
Today
what's
on
up?
Netflix, Malice from the Palace, a documentary that Jermaine O'Neal put together from back when the Pacers in Detroit had that fight in the crowd. They finally did a documentary dictating from start to finish everything that transpired. What happened to cause it, what happened after, all that.
It'll be on YouTube next week.
I Netflix don't let too much go on YouTube. I doubt that. By some point you probably be fine. But what surprised me was Jermaine O'Neal. He was on a podcast talking. He was like, because all that shit that happened, he got a fucking felony on his record.
For real?
He was like, I'm defending myself, but I got a felony.
Wow, I did
And I
not
was
know that.
like, I gotta watch this because he's like, it's someone people don't know, don't understand, and they seeing how everything started, but they still got hit as if they were the ones that was at fault for it. And so I'm just like, wow, who, you know what I'm saying? Who saw that coming? So I'm like, so this is gonna be something very interesting to watch. Let me see.
Can I ask you something?
Go right ahead, my brother.
Why are the Lakers trying to build a championship?
You said why?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the object of the game is to win. So they're doing what they think they need to do to win. That don't mean it's right, but you know they trying.
Do you think Russell Westbrook is the missing piece?
Westbrook. Here's the thing, and if they do it like this one commentator said, then yes, he is. LeBron's up here. Anthony Davis and Westbrook is right here, talking age wise. LeBron supposedly is ready to fade back. You know, when Dwayne Wade was up here in Miami, then when LeBron and Chris Bosh came, so they said LeBron's supposedly ready to be the guy, but when it's time to defer, he's ready to defer. If that happens, then yes, Westbrook will wild out and do what's needed. And since they feel like AD takes plays off, you don't want to take plays off with Westbrook there because he's damn insane. So you're going to ball because you know he's balling the hell out until he can't ball anymore. So it could work if LeBron gets out the way. Because Melo, he gonna come off the bench, do his little 16 a game. But you gotta give it to him. Be out of the league for a year, almost year and a half. Come back to Portland for what 2-3 seasons. Average 16 off the bench. You're doing some starting, about 14 to 16. 3-point percentage went to like 45%. He put in good work for him. He gonna do the same for LA. Probably be his last hurrah. If he get a ring this season, I bet he'll retire. Which, you know, I don't blame him. I just hate it's gonna look like he's ring chasing, but you know, that's what they all doing now. None of them are in the game for the credentials, the cred. They're in the game for the money. They're in the game for the ring. And the ring, unfortunately, is being diminished because you got everybody that's this team, that team, and 15 teams later, they come over here and they get a ring. I look like this. The team you get drafted by, you should have to spend at least your first 7 seasons with them. If don't nothing crack then hey, go wherever you want to go. I ain't saying be Melo and KG and Barkley and not Barkley, but Malone them to where you somewhere 10, 11 seasons and it's not working, you decide to go elsewhere. At least give me about 5 to 7 before you venture off. Like Dame Lillard, he's been in Portland too long now. He's wasting away. Go somewhere else and get you a ring. You earned it. You deserve it. So, you know, we go see what happens.
Yeah, it
Only
will
time.
be interesting. I just see it could be a recipe for disaster if egos get in the way.
Oh, it's definitely a recipe for disaster. That's without a doubt. That's disaster times 10.
All right. I don't have anything um, that I can think of. I do know that if anybody needs a photographer, find me. I'm on Instagram. Um, gonna be debuting some more artwork the rest of this week on IG as well. I sat back over the weekend and worked on some art and put that out. I'll put out a new piece every day for the rest of this week, and probably just relax and take it easy this weekend, and we'll hit it again next week. You got anything going on for the weekend?
And relax and take it easy for me. This I done worked a month straight. I ain't had a day off, and my body's tired. But I'm doing what I got to do, like always. Um, I mean, this weekend's busy. Well, this weekend for a change is busy. Got the smoking cigar party I'm DJing on Friday. Cross your fingers that it don't rain and it's not unnecessarily hot because we in a heat warning until Thursday, and Friday is a 40% chance of rain. I'm like, man, what I'm not gonna do is let my equipment get wet and blow the fuck up on me. That's what's not gonna happen.
Now you good. Friday it's gonna be cloudy. The high is only gonna be 84 right now. That's still a few days away.
What's the rain percentage? They took the rain percentage down.
Yes, they did.
Okay, yesterday it was like 40%.
Yeah, so I would wait until Thursday and then look at it again, and then you'll get a better idea what it's gonna be like.
And then what does it come Saturday? Work the part time. Get done with that. Then I got a surprise birthday party DJ that night. So this is about to be a busy, profitable weekend for me. If everything like it's supposed to. I'm gonna be tired as shit come Sunday night once I get off from the part time. So let's pray I make it through it. That I don't die. That I don't blow up in the sun on Friday. So you guys can see me on Thursday because we were recording on Tuesday. Let's hope that I'm in attendance.
Just make sure you drink lots of water, get lots of sleep.
Man, I am. I definitely am. It's already this week is long. I just need a week of just slowness where everything is just like in pause. Just don't hit play on what you want to hit play on. Don't worry about nothing else. Cool. I need one of those.
Definitely. All right, everybody. It's time for me to go eat, spend some time with the family. You, sir, enjoy the rest of your work week. I'm going to try to do the same. Like I said, school starts Thursday for the little man, so we'll get him ready, and then it's on to the next step.
You got all the supplies and everything?
Yes, sir. I can't believe I've got a sixth grader and a high school senior. I feel old.
Damn. That's literally two different spectrums.
Yes.
Because me having a sophomore and an eighth grader, I had actually bought supplies for the eighth grade. Sophomore, I ain't have to get shit.
Don't you love that?
Yes and no, it's a little irritating. I'm like, what's the eighth grader really gonna need this bullshit? Or
I know there was some questionable things on the list. We were like, are they really gonna use that? They didn't use that last year, but
I'm like, why am I buying crayons for this motherfucker? Then I'm mad because I go into the closet behind me before I went to the store.
Probably unused crayons.
2 boxes and a box of pencils. That's all I was like, man.
What child that old uses crayons?
What child that age is still coloring? That's what you should ask yourself. And so, lastly, because this is for you. And they do your retake, reboot, and rewind, and however it goes.
Rewind, relive, review.
Yeah, that's what I said. Don't see Suicide Squad 2.
Well, I heard it was pretty good from everybody that I know that's seen it. Or at least better than the first one.
They hit their heads. Idris Elba, he was dope. His character dope. But they had to make his character dope because Will's character was dope. Still like Will's a little bit more because Idris kind of was like a knockout version. It's like, I'll put it like this. This is going to sound real fucked up. You're going to hate me when I do this. Will is like the G rank, like the G. That's what Will look. He's like the G. He just had in the third. Since he didn't want to come back, they brought Idris and he's like the Bronco, looking like the G. It's good, but it's just not as good as the original. And that's how Ezra looked. Cause he's a sniper shooting all these little gadgets, different things he can shoot. And Will was just basically a sniper, whatever he had in his hand. I was just like, man, they could have did something completely to the left of what Will was or whatever. But
Well, I
it's
think when they wrote that script, they originally planned on Will coming back, and when he decided not to do it, instead of just eliminating Deadshot, they brought in another comic book character, Bloodshot. Similar.
and the sad
That's the
part about it,
beautiful thing about comic books. There's like two
Will should have
versions
did
of
it.
everything.
He should have did the movie because they needed him. They needed him in that movie. Well, I think he was more worried about the people was gonna say. They're right now telling man they need you in that movie. They need.
Well, that's true. I might take a gander at it when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm definitely not going to the theaters to see it. All right, gang. That's all we got for today. Appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. Hit that like button. Subscribe, people. That way you never miss an episode. We here every week. And as always, stay positive, stay blessed. Kevin, in this thing.
Key words: stay blessed, stay focused. I'm gonna read something real quick, then we'll go be out of here. I got this from my homie Dan, and it was perfect. We had a conversation yesterday, and we always talk every so often, and I had asked him a couple things, whatever, and he sent this saying to me: the average person will only put in effort if they're expected to receive something in return. If it's too little of a return, they'll match the effort to the return. It's backwards thinking. Effort is like an investment. You may not get anything in the beginning. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I had asked him, there's one guy here that does the Kansas City People Choice Awards or whatever. Big up and independent. People got their own shit in Kansas City, Missouri, whatever. Kansas and Missouri, they got their own company just having the third, which is a dope thing that he does. It can be put together a little bit better, but he do it how he wanted. It's his thing. I respect, props to him. And I'd ask Dan, they do all this non-for-profit. They run these programs helping, business owners to get them out there connecting with different people to help grow their business. So I look at them as being big in the city because they touched a lot of different businesses. Old girl, they helped her. They touched a lot of different things, but they don't get that pull or recognition over there for that. And I asked him how he felt about it, and he sent me that. And he was just like, I appreciate it. He's like, but when it's all said and done, it's not even about the acknowledgement. As long as people doing what they need to do, that's all that matters. And then literally the last 2-3 days, they've gotten just they flowers from people just telling them nonstop how they appreciate them because they got a program they about to run, and people has been like tagging it for and telling them if y'all ain't doing this, if y'all don't know them, y'all need to know them. What they doing is legit, and they helping people. They help my business tremendously, and I mean, just people just gushing about them, and a lot of shit they doing is kind of like common sense. Is a company in Cincinnati that put this book together on the best way to run business. They came across it, read it, changed it for our climax, our where we at or whatever, and they've been teaching it, and it's been through the roof with people supporting it. Or they ain't had no financial windfall from it, but they look at like they helped a lot of people that probably would have folded by now stay afloat. And this is during the pandemic that they did all this. So it's pretty dope. I had to give them credit for that.
That's nice. One of these days, we're going to have to get Dan on the show.
Yeah, I told him once I get through this week, I need to holler at him. I didn't want to add nothing else to my plate with the DJ gigs and just other shit I got going. I had enough going on right now. But as we say all the time, holler at your boys. Don't yell. We'll get at y'all next week.
Good night, everybody.